يعطيكم العافية. تكملة محاضرات الجينيتكس ما بعد مادة المد. مادة المد حكينا احنا تقريبا حكينا عن non-disjunction in of the sex chromosomes. راح نبلش من هون مراجعة سريعة إنه in meiosis 1 if you have the non-disjunction you will have events happening. 50% will be if the Y-bearing sperm should fertilize, 50% will be lethal and 50% will be Klinefelter. If it's an X-bearing sperm, you'll have 50% Turner and 50% with a 47 XXX female. إذا كان in non-disjunction in meiosis 2, you will have, if a Y-bearing sperm, you will have 50% normal, 25% Klinefelter, 25% lethal. إذا كان X-bearing sperm راح يكون عندك 50% normal, 47 XXX is 25% and Turner syndrome 45X is 1 or is 25%. شو Turner? Turner syndrome is are XO females, so 45X females. Phenotypically female. حكينا إذا ما فيش Y chromosome the phenotype is always female. إذا في intact Y chromosome you will have a male phenotype. They are usually sterile, they can't have kids, and it's usually associated with heart defects. The phenotype of the female usually comes with short stature, swelling, broad chest, webbed neck, low set ears, and you can see all the other symptoms and signs that are seen in the lower left corner. And you can see from the karyotype there's one X and no other sex chromosome. So monosomy X, 1 in every 1000 birth, varied degree of effects. شايفين الصورة how the web neck is very apparent. The karyotyping you can see classical 45X is about 57%. Mosaic حكينا mosaic forms where you can have some cells that are showing one karyotype and other cells have showing other karyotype. This is usually happens from non-disjunction صار عادة بالميتوسيس not بالميوسيس بعد الفرتيلايزيشن. So other karyotyping forms في عندك مثلا 46X IXQ, so there's a deletion in part of the X chromosome or other variants of that. All the others are about 14%. Results from complete or partial monosomy of the X chromosomes in female. Most common sex chromosome abnormality in females. Incidence is about 1 in 1,000 births. Klinefelter is a trisomy where you have double X and a Y. حكينا في Y معناته male phenotype caused by meiotic non-disjunction. Common cause of male hypogonadism. طلعوا على الphenotype. So you have a male with testicular atrophy. Usually they are infertile due to azoospermia. They have female distribution of hair, long limbs, narrow shoulders, and usually with gynecomastia. You can see there is elevated FSH and LH levels. And similar to Turner, they are about 1 in 1,000 male births. هل راح نلاقي barbody عندهم? Yes. Every extra X chromosome will leave a barbody, so this is a male with a barbody. That's usually a good indicator that this is a Klinefelter syndrome. So 60% are of maternal non-disjunction, and maternal age increases the possibility. Mosaic forms are present where they have half normal karyotype, 46XY, and other cells will have 47XXY. كل ما زدت X you will have more severe mental retardation added to the phenotype. So Klinefelter 47, XXY about 82%, maternal about حكينا 60%, paternal 40% non-disjunction during meiotic division. Mosaic forms are the remaining. You can do microsurgery to retrieve sperm and IVF application by intracytoplasmic sperm inoculation. More than 60 children born to Klinefelter patients. So there are هلا هذا رقم قديم. Testicular abnormality does not develop before puberty. Mental retardation is unusual, but IQ may be below normal. Mosaics are less severely affected as well. So non-disjunction at meiosis 2 producing YY sperm. This is the 47XYY. So not obviously abnormal. طلع عليه يعني there is no obvious abnormality. هذا راح يكون الفينوتايب أكيد male for the presence of an intact Y chromosome. No marked physical or behavioral phenotype. Tall, fertile, may have several acne during adolescence. Incidence also 1 in 1,000 births. Increased risk of educational or behavioral problems. IQ scores about 10 points below average. هذا هو not obviously normal. There are abnormalities, but usually it's not obvious. يعني صعب تفرقوا عن normal population. But they do have IQ, a small IQ deficit and problems with behavioral and educational problems, like attention deficit, hyperactivity, impulsiveness. Males, there are 48 XXY. Reduction in intellectual function حكينا هون كل ما زادت الإكس the IQ suffers greatly. That can be up to deficit of 80 points in IQ. Coarse facial appearance, gonadal hypoplasia is very common. As a rule, additional X chromosomes causes more abnormal phenotype, more defective sexual development, and mental impairment. Sex chromosome tetrasomy, males 48 XXY, reduction also further in intellectual functioning. IQ between 20 and 80. Coarse facial appearance, gonadal hypoplasia common. هذا حكينا هلا. So here patient with the fish showing 3 signals, green signals that are for the Y chromosome, for the X chromosome. 1 for the red, which is the Y chromosome. So this is, and 2 signals يعني طبيعيين the 18, chromosome 18. So this is a person with 48 XXY. Now sex chromosome pentasomy, if you have 49X quadruple Y, this is tall stature, aberrant behavior, it's مبين. Impulsivity, low frustration tolerance, low normal or subnormal intelligence, developmental testicular abnormalities, and some craniofacial dysmorphisms as well. Combination XO, paternal, YO, non-viable, XXY, Klinefelter, XX, trisomy X, cases more reported to be fertile, have double XY male offspring, and XYY are infertile and have a male phenotype. Now let's talk about instability of chromosomes. Chromosomal breaks. Once chromosome is broken by some means, unstable situations as telomeres not at the end and usually join up to other pieces. So let's see how that works. Defects in DNA repair or replication all are associated with high frequency of chromosome and gene mutations. Most are also associated with a predisposition to cancer, particularly leukemia. طبعا نعرف إنه defect in DNA repair or defects during replication will produce mutations that might reduce the tolerance to cancer or increase the risk for cancer. And leukemias are of particular concern here. Xeroderma pigmentosum, I'm sure you've heard of it. This is DNA damage, تصليح الدamage for DNA, خاصة due to the sun is extremely high, and they have very high risk of skin cancer. They do not have the ability to damage the DNA repair that happens from the UV light, or the UV light that comes from the skin, from the sun, and there's no DNA repair in the skin cells. So patients showing distribution of skin lesions here. This is xeroderma pigmentosum. They have a high risk for skin cancer. Ataxia, telangiectasia. They have cerebellar ataxia, immune defects. telangiectasia on the conjunctiva زي ما شايفين these veiny looking spider sort of web looking, these are called telangiectasias. Predisposition to tumors مثل lymphomas and leukemias, and they have very reduced or increased sensitivity to radiation. It's usually typically autosomal recessive, and this happens due to variable disease due to mutation in ATM gene in chromosome 11. Bloom syndrome as well is another one. Where you can see here the Fanconi anemia. They have caused by gene involved in DNA repair. Comes with growth retardation, skeletal defects such as radius and thumbs, bone marrow failure, skeletal and kidney malformation, localized pigment changes, autosomal recessive as well, and can happen. That usually comes due to DNA repair problems in several gene loci. Other causes here: Cockayne syndrome, Werner syndrome, also transcription repair or replication problems as well. هنا بس إنه يعني نعرف إنه what was each the clinical presentation, just to know that these syndromes are due to genomic instability syndromes. On chromosomal findings in early miscarriages, حكينا عادة miscarriages is usually due to genetic problem in fertilization, and عادة ما بنقدر نحكي للمرضى إنه بالغالب is normal is about 30%. يعني إنه صار في miscarriage 60% is due to abnormality. هذا ال 40% apparently normal. They might have other smaller mutations that are not detected, but there are 60% chromosomal findings, مش sequence problems. يعني the other 40% might have mutations that are not detected. احنا لما نطلع على miscarriages we only look for the chromosomal findings. فتخيل 60% منهم they have chromosomal abnormalities, so trisomies, monosomies, triploidies, tetraploidies, all these. So miscarriage is usually عادة إذا هيك طلع عليها miscarriage is usually a good outcome because it's usually non-viable or might be problematic. Most frequent numerical anomalies in live born autosomes حكيناهم بالautosomes, Down syndrome and Edward Patau 6 chromosome حكيناهم. And that's it. Some molecular forms of DNA repair. This is a slide. I think you should know most of it from the biology section.